Hey guys, welcome to the second episode on the introduction to chemistry. Now, in this episode, we're going to be explaining the importance of chemistry. Yeah, that's right. Why is chemistry important? See, my people, chemistry is everywhere. It helps us to understand the world around us and also to solve problems. Let me show you examples. I'm going to give you several examples, at least 3. The first example is when you are cooking. Example 1. Yep, cooking is full of chemistry. For instance, when you bake bread, as you can see, the guy baked the bread and he's trying to cut it into pieces. When you bake bread, there's something in it called yeast. The yeast, Y-E-A-S-T. So the yeast reacts with the sugar. That is when you are making the bread. Yeast reacts with the sugar to produce something called carbon dioxide, CO2. The carbon dioxide is the gas that now makes the bread to rise, and that's how it rose up to this point, as you can see. Now that is also chemistry. Another aspect of cooking is meat. For instance, when you are cooking meat, the meat turns into a brown substance like this. You can easily identify that this is cooked meat and then this is raw meat. Something happened. The raw meat, which is reddish, or you could say reddish brown in some cases, that's when it's filled with lots of blood. Now the reddish meat turned brownish, as you can see. You could easily identify it. Now this is a chemical reaction that has occurred. The chemical reaction is called Maillard reaction. Yep. But let's put that part, behind us. You don't necessarily need the reaction process. You just need to understand how chemistry works and why it is important. The third case under cooking. I'm going to give you examples under just cooking and why cooking is a perfect example of the importance of chemistry. So the third case is when you're frying an egg. You know how egg is normally now. When you break it, this is what you see inside. This transparent, colorless, I won't really say colorless per se, but transparent liquid that is in it. And what happens? If you apply heat to the egg, it changes the protein molecules in that egg and turns it to a clear white substance, as you can see. You notice how egg looks like when it has been fried compared to this one when you just bought it. Now this is what happens, and it's a chemical reaction. In fact, the egg, if so for those that don't like it like this, especially Nigerians, some typical Nigerians, the egg could be scrambled to tell you that this is different from this, especially different from how it started, which is this. It's a chemical reaction that occurred, converting the egg from this to this, or even this. Now that is how cooking is a perfect example of why chemistry is important. The second example why chemistry is important is in cleaning. Yep. For instance, when you wash your hands with soap, chemistry is at work. You do something like this. Look at this guy, he's washing his hands with soap, trying to keep it clean. Soap breaks down the grease or probably dirt on your hand, and those grease or dirt, especially grease, they are made up of molecules, oily molecules. So the soap makes it easier for those oily molecules to wash away. Something like this. This is how the process is. This is the soap molecule. As you can see, the soap molecules, they come on the oily molecule. This is your hand or the surface of your body, and this is the oily molecule. You can see what the soap did. The soap tried to surround it so that it can easily remove it away from the surface of your body. Can you see the process? So that is what soap does, and it's chemistry. It's chemistry related. Another example under cleaning is hand sanitizers. Yes, there's a compound or a solution or a substance, let me use that, in it called alcohol. Now, the alcohol is used to kill bacteria or probably viruses in or on the surface of your hand. That's why they call them hand sanitizers, to keep it clean. Now, what does the alcohol do? The alcohol helps to break the outer layer of those germs, whether bacteria or viruses. It's a chemical process. The things that involve breaking that outer layer so that the sanitizer can penetrate and kill those bacteria and viruses involves chemistry, because it involves a chemical process for that thing to be done. Let me explain. This is how the guy's hand was filled with bacteria and viruses, typically germs, and after applying the hand sanitizer, his hands became clean. What do you think has happened there? The germs has been removed, their outer layer have been broken down through a chemical process, and the germs eventually died, and now your sins have been washed away as usual. The third case, or the third example that proves why chemistry is important, is breathing. Yes. This part is also important. When you breathe, your body uses chemistry. Look at the example of this fine babe. See the way she's breathing in and out. Probably doing yoga, or probably all this exercise, or even meditation. Who knows? Now, when you breathe in, you inhale something called oxygen. Let me write it out. Oxygen. In chemistry, we call it O2. This guy now, O2. So that chemistry, that oxygen is what your body uses to release energy from food. When you take food into your body, the food is useless until this guy, oxygen, comes inside and breaks down that food to form energy. Then you now use that energy to do whatever thing you want to do. And you are whole again, you're strong. So it's because of the food and the oxygen that mix together. Oxygen breaks down the food and you're good to go. So when you breathe in oxygen, and then the body uses the oxygen for a lot of stuff. That's a chemical process that is involved for that to happen. And then when you breathe out or you exhale something called carbon dioxide. Now, just like this one is O2, this one is now CO2. Look at that O2. So CO2 is what you call carbon dioxide, and that's what you bring out from your body when you exhale or breathe out. Now, the carbon dioxide is now the byproduct or the end product or a waste product, let's use that, of that particular process or chemical process when that occurs. Now, this is the process of breathing in, oxygen enters, breathing out, carbon dioxide leaves. Breathing in process is called inhalation. Breathing out process is called exhalation. So in simple terms, just to summarize everything I've said so far, your body uses chemistry to turn food into energy, and that powers you every single day. So in general, chemistry is important. Even if you don't think it's important in everyday life, at least it's important for you to be alive. Chemistry helps and explains what happens in your body and makes you alive every single day. Now, that's all for this episode. In the next episode, we're going to be explaining the branches of chemistry. See you in the next episode. Have a nice day. Bye.